Hello all and welcome to this Power BI tutorial. In this specific video, we will discuss the important statistical concepts which are very important to understand data in a proper way, or can say which are very important to use Power BI with its full potentials. So in this specific video, we will discuss the roadmap only, and from the next video, we will understand the actual concepts. Okay, so here, first of all, we will start with the measure of central tendencies. Here, in measure of central tendency, we will study the three main measure of central tendencies, which are, if we say, first will be mean, then second will be median, and third will be mode. So we will focus on these three main measure of central tendencies in this specific statistical part. Then, apart from this measure of central tendencies, we will study the second part, which is measure of dispersion. So here, measure of dispersion. In measure of dispersion, we will study the three main measure of dispersion, which are variance, then standard deviation, and third will be range. So here the three main measure of dispersions will be measure variance, standard deviation, and range. So, and the third part we are studying here will be some aggregate functions. So I will note down some aggregate functions also. And the important aggregation functions we are covering in the statistical part will be, first is sum, then second will be minimum value, third will be maximum value, then apart from this we'll cover count and distinct count. So this is the roadmap we are covering to understand statistics for Power BI. Okay, so in this part, let's break down these concepts in a proper way. So guys, can you see here, first of all, we will understand measure of central tendencies, then we'll understand measure of central, then we'll understand measure of dispersion, and at the end, we will understand some aggregate functions. Now, in simple way, let's break down these concepts. So basically, a measure of central tendencies are the typical values, or are the values which gives you the idea about the center of your data. So mean, median, and mode are the measure of central tendency which gives you the center value of data. We will discuss this in the future sessions in detail. Okay. So mean is nothing but your average value. Median is nothing but your center value, and mode is nothing but the most frequent value from your data. Then measure of central dispersion, or can say measure of dispersion, are the values which gives you the idea about the spread of your data, like how your data is clustered toward the center, or can say the average, or your how your data is spread across the total range of your data. Okay, so we'll calculate variance, standard deviation, and range in order to understand the dispersion or the spread of the data. Then in aggregate function, we will understand sum. Sum is nothing but addition of all the values in the data set, minimum value of that value population or the data, maximum value of that population or the data. Count is nothing but how many numbers we have in the data, and distinct count will be the number of unique records into the data. So here, if you talk about the roadmap again, so we divide this data into three main parts. So first we'll start with the measure of central tendencies. In this case, we'll study mean, then we'll study median, and lastly we'll study mode. After that, we will start with dispersion, and in that case we'll study variance, then standard deviation and range. After that we'll focus on sum, then minimum value, maximum value, count and count distinct. So we will explain all this term with the practical example and practical implementation also. And once we complete this part, you guys will be very familiar with this concept, and after that you will understand how these concepts are very important with respect to Power BI. Okay, so till then, keep practicing and keep exploring. We'll see you in the next video of me.